questions or are those topics? Is every one of those lines a question?
No, it's all. Well,
are we starting?
Yeah.
Are we on? I like that.
Air. I'm sitting here with David Andrew Kerwin. Known Dave for a very long time. I was thinking about this because you were just talking about. I have a whole page full of like topics.
Yeah.
And then some questions after the topics.
Okay.
But we've known each other for what, 10 years? I think.
Eric, we do this all the time. We've been out of high school for 10 years in November.
Yeah. No, well, yeah.
So we're going to go back 4 years through Doherty. So that's 14.
Oh, wow.
And then...
We do this all the time, huh?
Yeah. We said, like 10 years ago. Oh, yeah, like when you graduated from high school.
Did we know each other like
in middle school? We knew
like
each other enough to play wiffle ball in the neighborhood or something like that.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it this morning. I don't know about you, but when I'm in the shower, I think about a lot of things.
Sure.
Like, and I was thinking about...
I have a kid. I have 2 times to think. The 2 minutes I get to take a dump and the 5 minutes I get to take a shower.
Yeah, that's true. You do have other obligations, but I'm kidless right now, so I have a lot of time to think.
So it's like you sent me a text message. Oh, I'm preparing. And you were sitting in front of the TV with your iPad, sports topics, and I went, okay, I'm not going to keep up. There's no way I can keep up because you have 2 devices on sports. I'm watching Tigger, and I haven't picked my first pick in a mock draft. I started it a half an hour ago.
We can talk Tigger, man. I mean, I want to make this a versatile, unique podcast.
Okay.
So
different from the sports-oriented ones?
Well, no, we can talk sports, we can talk entertainment, we can talk
whatever
TV.
you want to.
You've got all that, like, I don't want to say useless information, but you're very knowledgeable about all, like,
When I think of the knowledge I have, you could put it in a nice big pen of absolutely useless.
Yeah. But
and it takes up most of my knowledge.
It's interesting stuff, though.
It's not bad.
So, but with Greg and with Kruger, it was a lot of baseball talk.
Yeah.
A lot of basketball talk, and I know you love baseball. Like you have that above everything else.
Baseball, I love it.
Yeah.
It holds a special place in my heart.
And I know that, but what I did...
I can always go to it to take a nice nap.
Well, you watch playoff baseball, though, right? Like, the Sox are probably going to, unless there's an epic collapse, they're going to make the playoffs this year.
The Sox this year, I may watch a playoff game.
Yeah.
But, then again, probably not. Because the time of year. Football? Unlike you, I'm a Saturday, Sunday football guy.
You're college sports. You're into college sports. I could never get on that same level with you when it came to college sports.
We could have a conversation right now. One team, the rest of your days. Just consider your TV as one channel at one period of the day, any day. And you can pick one thing, one sports team to watch the rest of your days. What is it?
For me?
Yeah, the Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this in the last podcast. Like, I ranked the teams I liked the most or the sports, and I actually put the Celtics over the Red Sox.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy watching the Celtics play, and
it's so interesting.
Yeah, nobody else really. Like, Greg likes the NBA a little bit. Greg and Kruger, they both like the NBA, but something about the Celtics, man, in basketball.
As your number one.
I would put them above the Red Sox. And then, honestly, Dave, I'm not a big football guy, and we'll talk about that. Let me start off. I had a couple other... Well, what I wanted to hit you with was some quick Notre Dame talk.
Okay, let's go. Just to finish it, my team would be Notre Dame. That's the point.
Well, okay.
If there was nothing else, I would pick Saturday at 3:30. Notre Dame.
So I should have let you say that, and then I should have...
No, it's all good. Now it's a perfect transition.
Segue into Notre Dame football.
Let's go.
I did some research. They're coming off, a national championship loss?
A national championship loss.
Their butts kicked by...
They got their butts kicked.
Now, here's the thing. I couldn't even tell you Alabama beat them pretty good. What was the final score? Did Notre Dame score?
I don't remember the final. They scored. They scored twice. I want to say it was low to mid-30s to 14 or something like that.
How are they going to be this year?
How are they going to be this year?
Are they going to be competitive? Are they going to be a top 5
They're not
national?
If you're asking me to predict, they will not be a top 5 team. But they have these certain spots on their schedule.
Yeah.
Just win a few big games, and they have some cupcakes in there.
I meant to pull up their schedule, but who do they have? Do they have USC?
They always have Michigan State,
Yeah.
which they always start the year in the top 25 and end out of it.
Yeah.
Half the time because Notre Dame beats them. But they have a tough schedule.
Okay.
They play USC. They play Stanford, who's a top 5 team.
Do they always?
They play Oklahoma.
They are playing Oklahoma
Yes,
this year?
they play Arizona State
Really?
at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Really?
Yeah.
Is USC coming to Notre Dame this year, or do they always go there? I feel like they always go there.
No. It's every other year.
Where was the game when Bush pushed Leinart?
It was in Notre Dame.
That was at okay. All right.
You want to talk? I watched Aaron Boone. Not Aaron Boone.
It's the third baseman for the Yankees.
Yeah. Was it Aaron?
Aaron Boone?
Yeah, he hit the home run off of Wakefield.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched
2002.
that happen alone in my uncle's house.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Yeah.
I've seen all sorts of crazy crap all these Super Bowls.
Sure.
When they freaking pushed Reggie Bush into the end zone, that's the biggest disappointment in my entire
can you
sporting
do that?
life.
Is that
No,
legal?
that is highly illegal.
So why?
Also, the play beforehand where Leinart fumbled the ball out of bounds
Yeah.
is along the lines of the Tuck rule, as far as rules in a football game that are absolute horseshit.
Well, I got to tell you, Dave, the D-line took a hit, if you know what I'm talking about. Tony Springman.
You trying to pretend like I'm an expert on Notre Dame?
Tony Springman blew out his knee, okay? He's a veteran on that D-line. What do you think? Who's going to replace him?
I'm sure it will hurt. However,
he's a junior. I think he's a junior.
You're mistaken my Notre Dame love for, fanboy.
Well, what it really comes down to is Corey Robinson. You know, he's going to be the X factor.
Are you trying to, call me out as not knowing anybody on Notre Dame? Because I'll just cut you off at the chase. I'll know them by the third week of the season.
No,
it's harder to follow a college football team because they literally dress 100 kids for a home game.
Well,
so when you go through the roster and most of the kids leave,
yeah.
and then you go, oh, well, I don't remember their numbers because
there's two
I
number
don't
10s.
remember. Yeah, there's 2 number 5s.
Yeah.
One of them was up for a Heisman. The other one got kicked out of school because he cheated on his final exam.
I hate when that happens.
Idiot.
One of the offensive linemen or D linemen had they wore number 9 last year. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, they
Big
all
fat
wear.
guy with a single-digit number. But listen, they got Bennett Jackson, T.J. Jones, and
T.J. Jones. I know
Zach
that
Martin.
name.
They're
a good player.
tri-captains, so they got good leadership. So we'll see where they take them this
Are you
year.
trying to call me out? What's the point on doing this?
Yeah, I'm just
research?
saying. No, seriously, though, Corey Robinson, 6'5", wide receiver. Might turn some heads this year, so keep an eye out. You heard it here first.
Okay.
He's the X factor.
Awesome.
All right. So, but leading into college sports, the other night I was down here, I was watching TV, and I love the all access shows. I don't care really if it's football, baseball, hockey, basketball, whatever. I love seeing behind the scenes.
Like Hard Knocks, that sort of stuff.
I've never watched Hard Knocks because I don't have HBO or Showtime or whatever it's on. But ESPN.
Yeah.
Did you see it the other night?
No.
Do you know what team they were doing all access on, which got me to thinking and reminded me of something that happened because it's disappeared and nobody talks about it anymore.
Ohio State.
Penn State and Bill O'Brien. And it's all about training camp, and I laughed to myself a little bit. I felt like I shouldn't be watching it because it's typical ESPN where they're so committed to college football, to the NFL, a little bit to baseball, and a little bit to basketball. And
that's a shocker, because those are the sports they broadcast.
No, that's what I'm saying is they'll report bad news because they have to, and in situations like Penn State, you can't ignore it. But it's
they tried to ignore Tiger Woods. It took them till almost December to report the thing that happened on Thanksgiving.
Exactly. So but then it's like, all right, it's almost like they say, all right, Penn State, listen. First of all, after all that Sandusky stuff happened, they're on TV every week. Every game's broadcast. And, and it's almost like they said, all right, we're going to give you a little break. We'll show you games, but give us a year and a half. Then we'll get you guys back. I know you took a little hit with the fines and these penalties.
It should have been part of the punishment that they were not on TV.
What a joke. What a joke. That whole thing bothers me so much, and it's the fact that I saw like Paterno's family and some coaches like settled with Penn State this week. I didn't even read the article because I didn't want to know like what the heck they were settling, how much money they got. But it's so weird, man. It's
well,
so weird.
when that whole thing happened, there's never been more of a cult I've ever seen in my entire life than this town of whatever it is.
And the
college.
alumni.
Yeah, everybody.
It's to defend.
Rallied around a serial rapist.
Yep.
No, that it's pedophile, this, that, serial rapist.
And it's not even it's the Sandusky part too, but then it's the Paterno thing where and I'll bring you're a big Duke fan as well.
Yeah.
Coach K staying in one place for so long. Jim Boeheim out in Syracuse. When you got guys who have been in one position for 20, 30 years, I hate to say it, man, but I think some stuff like this gets swept under the rug. And
well, they get elevated to a position. See, like Paterno was literally in his 80s.
Yeah.
It does not excuse him from anything because he knew about it long ago.
Yeah.
But he had the one half an inch, I'll give him, is he had to have been elevated so high above what was going on, just day to day.
You think so, though?
So you think he was in the meetings at 11 o'clock at night when they're scrutinizing over who's starting and who's playing?
So who do you think was running the team?
I watch Notre Dame every week. I can't remember. I only knew one of the players you rattled off. He was freaking almost 90.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. It's so mind-boggling that when it did happen, though, 10 years ago, this is where I'm taking my statement back. You run to the hills and scream. This dude what's he doing? Get the hell out of here.
It was brought to Paterno's attention, and he turned a cold shoulder. Yeah, he protected him, and he...
Not even just turn. You can turn a cold shoulder.
Yeah.
You could whisper to a cop, and you could say, hey, I'm going to tell you this, but I'm going to go over here because they're going to build a statue of me.
We talked about this,
Hey, oh, Sandusky, it's a diddler. Whoop, I'm out of here. I got to go talk to the offense.
Yeah.
Handle it. I didn't tell you. And there was enough evidence. And then people are getting killed and not found.
That's the craziest
And then people are rallying around this thing like, how dare you do that? They're still rocking their bumper stickers up here. Even you drive into Boston, people are proud to be Penn State alum.
Did I ever tell you we were interviewing for a position at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, you did.
And the girl who we were interviewing came in a couple times. She was a Penn State alum. And she was from the area too. And I wanted to, You mean the area of Penn State or this area? Penn State. Philly, right?
No, it's in the middle of nowhere. See, that's the cult aspect of it.
Yeah.
It might be nearer Philadelphia than Pittsburgh, but it is in the middle of nowhere.
Well, what state is it in? I don't even know. Pennsylvania.
Penn State. It's Pennsylvania.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
So Philadelphia is close to New York. Yeah. Pittsburgh is close to Ohio.
Okay.
I feel like it's in the middle, and it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, people are
Happy
dying.
Valley.
Well, that's to get off the Penn State thing and just keep talking about college sports and college football in particular. The Johnny Manziel, which up until recently, if he had walked in my back door and sat down next to me, I wouldn't know who the hell the kid is. What's your take on that? Because I guess just to recap, he signed some autographs and was given some money for doing so, and in NCAA rules and regulations, you can't do that. And whether
for money,
correct, for money, and whether it's kind of two different topics in one story here. One is these guys, the NCAA uses these guys, makes money off these guys, but the fact is the rules that they have in place now.
Yeah, you got to follow the rules.
Manziel broke them.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And I think it was even caught on video. So.
Well, yeah.
Is he playing?
Yeah, he's gonna play.
Why?
Well,
do
you know his family history?
A lot of money.
Yeah, like almost billionaires.
Yeah, and he's getting $8,000, which to him isn't a lot of money. To you or me, that's a lot of money. To him, it's not a lot of money.
Well, right. So the point you led to my point. Moron.
Idiot.
Complete moron. So you're set for life. Great. If I were set for life as a kid, I would have a dream. Everybody would. That kid had a dream enough to get to play Division I college football. Start for Texas A&M, which is a lowly SEC school, but not anymore because the kid is amazing. So your dreams have to continue beyond playing at Texas A&M. You would think the dream continues to the NFL. You think you just want to play football. If you don't have anything in life to worry about, just play football. Just play football. And he's going around for $8,000 when all he has to do, he probably doesn't even have to call his dad for $8,000.
Now, can I ask you this too? I mean,
so what are you doing? What the hell are you doing? It bothers me.
He's
For somebody who doesn't have a lot of money to just be given, God-given gifts to do this sort of crap. What the hell are you doing? I feel that way about every story. The kid from Notre Dame. Anybody who does something stupid to ruin an opportunity like that, which less than 1% of the population who plays sports, never mind the population of the country, get to do. What is wrong with you?
They're kids. You know, it's like they're put into this limelight. They have so many yes people surrounding them.
But right, I get you. And that's why he's a rich kid, and he gets to be ringside at a UFC fight. Because I noticed that first. Like, he started showing up courtside to the Heat games and ringside to UFC. And I was like, whoa, okay, this is like public, severe NCAA violations. And then I found out he's a rich kid.
Yeah.
So you can do that. Why are you signing autographs for $5,000? That's not just being a kid. It's a dumb decision, but that's taking it to another level.
Can I ask you a question? Would you buy a Johnny Manziel autograph?
No, but again, we're talking about a town in the middle of Texas where we don't even fathom. I sit down religiously. I'm not going to a cookout next Saturday so I can watch Notre Dame, and I live 2,000 miles away from the school.
Yeah.
We're talking about Podunk town.
Dude, CJ, if CJ's listening, he's skipping your cookout for Notre Dame. No.
Wait, CJ's having a cookout the day after his wedding?
Oh, the after wedding party, man. 4:00.
I didn't get the invite. No, I really didn't.
Really?
No.
Oh. Well, send Dave an invite, CJ. He's not listening to this.
I know he's not. But you're talking about places in the middle of absolute nowhere. Like, Friday Night Lights is a real thing. So take that to another level. It's college football. They fill 97,000 people in a town that doesn't have half that many people in it, into a stadium. Those people want the autograph. They're not going to have something come through their town like that almost ever again. The kid won a Heisman Trophy as a freshman. He has to be there for 2 more years. The kid could be only the second person to win 2 Heismans. That doesn't come through your podunk town in Texas, ever.
Ooh, did Tebow win 2?
No.
He only won 1? Who won 2?
Archie Griffin.
Archie Griffin?
From Ohio State. And there it is, people. First useless piece of information.
It's good stuff, man. I had no idea. I think it's very bizarre, and I know what you're talking about with these small towns and how they worship the ground that these kids walk on, because it's really like all they have. But I think it's so bizarre when there's a 35, 40, 45-year-old, 50-year-old male.
Oh, it's weird.
Wearing team colors and team uniform jerseys, cheering on an 18-year-old kid. I think that's really weird. I don't know why. I just think that's weird.
As I've gotten older myself, even a professional athlete.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing jerseys. I was never a big jersey rocker.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not going to a Pats game in a jersey.
Well, you don't. I mean, look at the Aaron Hernandez thing. You don't know what these guys. You honestly, even
you don't know anybody.
Which is insane because the internet, Twitter, Facebook, you have all this crap. Everything's exposed, and when something like the Hernandez thing comes out, you don't know what these guys do when they go home after the game, right?
Do we want to go to that topic?
If you want to jump over to it, it happened.
That story. The more I sit and think about it, the more I hear it on the radio. Just him showing up at court, him possibly killing 2 more people. I don't know why we're not all talking about it all the time. It's one of those things like, there's proof of UFOs, but it's not on the news. This guy was on television every Sunday night. He fooled an organization that is worth almost $2 billion, which means They have a private investigator. If you don't think you're being followed and you play for the New England Patriots and you're not Tom Brady, you're out of your GD mind. That guy fooled everybody
Now,
for multiple years. We're talking about going back to high school. He had to have fooled the cops in Bristol. He was a gangbanger. It's proven. It's all there. All the tattoos, all the news reports, everything. Moved to Florida. Somehow last 3 years at Florida. You leave early. Why? Because you shot a guy. You left school before you were 21. You couldn't even drink, and you were playing in the NFL. And you still could hide the fact that you were a gangbanger and run around with gangbangers. And then all of a sudden you kill 2 people, allegedly, right? And you're able to hide that through an entire football season where your team goes to the Super Bowl. And then, for some reason, you shoot somebody else, and you have the dumbest night of your entire life. Because so you got the cover-up and all this crap that somehow nobody knew about it. But then you have one night where he's the dumbest person on the planet.
can I stop you right there? You just said fooled and hide. You used those words. How do you? I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist a little bit.
I love him.
University of Florida.
Before we end, I want your favorite one, but go.
University of Florida, Urban Meyer, Bill Belichick, the Patriots. You just said it. They have people following you around.
That's a NFL pipeline state, to use a college football term. Like Notre Dame recruits Texas really well. For some reason, that's called a pipeline.
Yes.
So the Patriots have a pipeline to Florida, and right now, for some reason, Rutgers. They have like half their team is from Rutgers.
But don't you think the organization knew? And they covered it up? I think that's a bigger story.
No, here's why they didn't. Here's why they didn't.
So you're saying
the craft mystique of being these good people, good football owners, I tend not to buy into any of that crap because it's just like anything else. They're rich people. They pay other rich people to project this out through the media. They literally have somebody hired to produce an image for them. Robert Kraft was at the UFC fight the other night. You think Bob Kraft's going to the UFC fight? Hell no. Somebody that he employs said, go to the fights. You'll look like a normal guy. People will love you. But I buy into that. They have cut players before. There's been fights in draft rooms not to draft somebody.
Well,
they cut Katzenmoyer back in the day.
Hainsworth.
He got an opportunity. He effed up, gone. Randy Moss got an opportunity. They were perfect citizens. They give people opportunity. Just because something happened before, they give them an opportunity. They mess up. The Patriots are as quick as any team around in any sport to say, nope, there was one bad step. See you later. So he's on their team for, 3 seasons, 2.5, whatever it was, 2 seasons. And these people who are very quick to cut bait with bad people or just people who do the slightest wrong thing, they give them $50 million or whatever it was. $50 million. So now, my point on the private investigator, if you're given $50 million, you know, or you have to try to know who you're giving that $50 million to. And he fooled them. You don't cover up with $50 million. You go to Aaron Hernandez and you say, listen, we know you're an idiot. We're going to go put that gun in Springfield. And hopefully that's far enough west in this ridiculous state to put it out there. But you're going to sign a 10-year contract with us, and it's going to be for $30 million because you want to be a team player. That's how you do a cover-up. You don't give him $50 million in a 5-year contract when he's 23 so that you can give him another one when he's only 28. You don't do that.
Getting off of the kind of criminal aspect of it, but just simplifying it to football terms, Gronkowski's banged up. He's coming off of who knows how many surgeries.
Hurts a lot football-wise.
Yeah. No more Welker, no more Hernandez. Did you watch the game the other night against the Lions?
I did not watch the game the other night.
It was bad. It was ugly, and it was it humanized the Patriots. I think the first 2 preseason games, everyone was kind of lying to themselves, saying it's going to be okay. It's Brady, it's Belichick, they'll figure it out. man, they got some guys who does Brady go to when he needs to complete a pass? When he needs that first down on 3rd and 9, on 3rd and 6, and they don't run it, and who does he throw it to?
You want to know who I honestly think?
Yes.
Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Your sleeper pick for today's draft, or what?
No. No, but... So you think about things, NFL, timing, all that. It's all about comfort. Tom Brady threw to Wes Welker so much because they were just comfortable. And Brady, I love him to death, but he's got happy feet. Everybody goes, the brilliance of the Patriots offense is Tom Brady gets the ball out of his hands. Kinda. Other guys are successful by waiting a few more seconds and humming the ball down the field. He knew Welker would be open. He knew he could get the ball out without getting tackled. So let's do that 12 times and we'll score touchdowns. It worked. I'm not saying it didn't work, but there's got to be a little bit of aspect of why when Tom Brady gets a pass rush and he doesn't know where Welker's going to be, does it all fall apart? And now they decided, nah, see you later. Have fun with Peyton Manning. Let's watch you do that with somebody else.
I was watching the Broncos play the...
That will go down as one of the dumbest decisions the Patriots have ever made. Ever made. They paid him... The Broncos paid him $6 million over 2 years, or for 2 years, so $12 million. And they handed Danny Amendola, who hasn't completed a season in 3 seasons, something like 30-something million.
You gotta Welker didn't play last night either, but I was watching the Broncos game last night against the Rams, and Welker sat out, and I was looking at this Broncos team, and they've got is it Demaryius Thomas?
Demaryius Thomas. They have another guy named Thomas, which is gonna
they've got
be a pain in the ass during the fantasy season.
Is it Eric Decker?
Yeah.
And then they had somebody else. I'm drawing a major blank right now. But I was almost looking at them like they don't really... I think the Broncos are going to be good this year. They're my preseason pick to win the Super Bowl. I don't know who your team is.
To win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I like the second year in the system for Manning. He's healthier than he was last year. They do have Welker. They've got no Sean Moreno, and I think they've got another guy back there running the ball.
Did you say Monty Ball, their rookie?
Is it Monty Ball?
Yeah.
I just...
Out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Broncos. I'm not sold on the pass.
I never thought about picking a Super Bowl winner until now, but for some reason I feel like the NFC is going to go on a little run of Super Bowl winning. You just picked the 3 off the top of my head. One of them is a lights-out offense, the Packers. They'll always be there, but I think... San Fran and Seattle out there are going to kick each other's ass in that division, but always be. I mean, because they play defense. They're very good on defense, and the NFL is going to turn into college football. If you don't like the ridiculous video game style of college football, you're not going to like football for very long.
I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things I wrote down was the
meaning Kaepernick and Russell Wilson. You can't stop them, so.
Well,
it's tough to defend those teams. So one of those two is going to have a pretty strong run.
I was watching some high school football yesterday on ESPN, and what teams seem to do these days, and I think it's all Doherty does. What's the play where the running back fake handoff?
It's called a read option.
So the quarterback gets the ball, says
in the shotgun.
And in the shotgun, and he goes to hand it off to the running back, but he fakes it. Okay, or the other play that I see all the time.
No.
The other play that. No, I know. the other play I see all the time is the read, which I think you're talking about, where the ball snapped, the quarterback starts to run out to the right, and the running back's trailing him, and the quarterback has to decide whether to keep it or to pitch it, right? Is that the read?
That's called an option.
Okay.
They change it to a read option because every single time you snap the ball, you have multiple options to how the play will go, and the quarterback has to be the smartest player on the field and read certain things the defense gives them.
Stop talking. So, I got to get to my point. Go watch a Doherty High football game. That's all they do. All they do. It's boring to watch. It's awful. I couldn't watch this high school football game. They're doing the same play every time. It's almost like you're trying to like trick your opponent, or I don't know what the hell. I'm going to tie this into the NFL and the quality of a football game.
Yeah.
I don't know football, okay? But I sit down and I watch these games on Sundays.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, the skill level and the quality of a football game, an NFL football game, is shit, is crap. And I think it starts at the pee-wee level and it goes all the way up to the high school, because you get all these stupid coaches running the goddamn same plays. Oh, read the play, flick this, do that. I think the skill of the game and the way it should be played, I think and it ties into what you said, we're going to see high-scoring games, I guess, with Kaepernick and Wilson and RG3. It's all less, all right, you're putting everything in the quarterback's hands, and he's going to run it. And it's almost like, and then he gets hurt, and then the backup quarterback's going to come in, and that team's going to suck. And the game's going to suck. And I'm sorry, I think the NFL, and I might be the only person in the world who thinks this, I think the quality of the game is decreasing, and it's been decreasing over the last year or two, and I think the NFL has turned into almost what the WWF turned into, where they got away from wrestling and they got into the entertainment, and they changed it to World Wrestling Entertainment, because it is entertainment after all. And football, after all, it's a business, it's money, and the TV channels, CBS, NBC, Fox, NFL Network, I think it's just become. I think it's become a circus. I really.
Do you want to know what it's? You want me to? I can go along with your point a little bit. I disagree with you.
Thank you for letting me go off on that.
I disagree with you a little bit, but
first of all, you can't disagree with me on this podcast. You have to agree with everything I say.
That's absolutely not going to happen. Just to go with your point, and to add an exclamation point onto it, and to give. Without actually giving a point, give you my point. Okay. In the stadiums this season, they will be putting fantasy points on the scoreboard.
Will they really?
Yes. So, well, I don't know about every, but the New England Patriots, who are the last people to innovate, are putting fantasy points on their scoreboard. Not constantly, but they will update fantasy points for with the players on the field for that particular game. That's what it's turning into. You watch Hard Knocks. You don't. I do. There's a quarterback meeting, and Jay Gruden's son is on the computer. The meeting ends. They all walk over to the computer, and they're helping the kid through the fantasy draft.
Really?
Yes. I saw interviews last year, or I saw mic'd up segments. I don't remember where or when. I'm not, in the sports radio business, but I know they exist, where on the field players are commenting. Oh, my fantasy teams are going to love that. That's what it's turned into. There's no defense.
There's none.
Because they have figured out the trick to it, and it makes perfect sense, even without a running quarterback. Think about Tom Brady, what they do. When they want to, when they know they have to move the football, what do? 4 or 5 wide receivers. They line up the offensive line, and they snap to him in a shotgun. The offense, the more wide receivers you put on the field, the more the defense has to spread out, and the more the offense is at an advantage. A crazy amount. Simply because you're playing a game of tag between a wide receiver and a defensive back, but the offensive guy knows what he's doing. The defensive back has no idea. So he's going to lose so much of the time that it's not even funny. The game becomes boring. It becomes 50-34, and the team that scored 34 is a team like not the Jets, because they're not going to score 34, but a team like that where the quarterback makes a bad decision and throws interceptions. And he'll throw 2 of them, and that will conversely turn into the 14 more points that the other team will win by.
Not only in football, but just in professional sports as a whole. Don't you think the teams that win these championships are the smarter teams? the teams that actually run the plays the right way and stick to their assignment, don't you think?
Yeah. Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Darrelle Revis. Like, I always think, like, how many...
See, Darrelle Revis is probably...
Is he done?
Another...
Is he done? He had knee surgery. Is he going to say
He's a step behind now, so if you're a step behind in what I just explained... Yeah.
So he's just another guy. But how long was he good? 2 years?
3 or 4 years, but that's the other thing you're going to run into the NFL. We're talking about all this wide-open spread crap and all that, but all that does do, too, is if you're sitting in a zone defense where a guy just has to cover an area... At some point, either the route or the guy with the ball will come into his zone, and he's waiting there, and they kill people.
Yeah. Which leads to what?
Destroying players' careers and short careers, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a 5-year turnaround. I feel, and the only people who will last a good long time are the good quarterbacks. See, that's the other thing that's going to get annoying with these running quarterbacks. You've already seen it with RG3.
Yeah,
so easy to get hurt. It's so easy to get hurt because you're exhausted, and then you're taking off through a group of 300-pound people, and then into a group of people who are literally waiting to dive at your head and take it off.
Yeah, you're not going to win that battle.
No.
So if you're an NFL franchise, why would you bring on wouldn't you want a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady?
Yeah, but they don't exist anymore. Andrew Luck was the last one, and he'll take off and run.
Andrew Luck's going to be good.
He might very well be, if it transitions all the way into this, he might be the last traditional quarterback. I honestly can't think of a college football team that plays a pro offense except USC, and if you want me to list off the quarterbacks at USC that have been good over the last 10 years, I can't.
T.Y. Hilton on Luck and Colts, we can't be stopped. His exact words. Are they that good? Andrew Luck was pretty good last year.
We just talked about it.
Yeah.
I could argue that a lot of offenses can't be stopped.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: as a NFL, when is it?
But I still like the NFL, and it will prove us wrong. Because not every game is like that. It's not like college. There are still enough talented people to make it interesting. But the talent pool on defense is dwindling, which is going to make it awful.
How many games are there on a Sunday? 10 games when you get into the bye weeks? What, like 4 or 5 teams have byes? So let's say there are 12 games on every Thursday, Sunday, Monday. Out of those 12 games, how many of them are good, back and forth, well-executed football games? 3? I'd say less than half.
I'd say, well, it depends on the week.
Let me ask you this. When does the average NFL fan, when do they start, will they ever lose them?
No.
When will the Patriots fan go, you know what, I've got a 67,
There's a reason I'm here at your house at 11, because we're drafting at 1.
Yeah.
That will keep the sport. That is a billion-dollar industry. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They carry in their pocket. Not them specifically, but if you add up all the other ones, fantasy football is a billion-dollar industry.
Sure.
$1 billion.
Yes.
It's 1,000 million.
I know.
Just on fantasy football. So no, you have those people watching just to track their fantasy players. There are more people that watch the NFL for their fantasy than actual football.
Is too much of something not good? Is there anything...
When you rattled off how many days a week the NFL plays, the first thing that popped into my head was the UFC. And I know you're not a huge fan of the UFC, but I was. And it was pretty great when they were once a month. Period. End of story. They cover all the weight classes. They put on a card, an event once a month. Now they do 3 or 4 a month, and they've diluted all of them, and it sucks. Every
time I turn on the TV, either on the new Fox Sports Live or on NBC Sports Network, there's a UFC or MMA fight on.
Yep.
And I'm like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
It's like it's become like boxing where there's 100 champions. You don't know who's who. And it's weird, but
it's diluted. So to take that and apply it to the NFL, see, I want to think that they could dilute it and do too much, and putting it on multiple days a week, I think will dilute it. No, it does. I don't watch Monday Night Football unless the Patriots are playing or it's a tremendous matchup.
It's late. It's on late.
Very late.
It's a late start.
They're really not playing football till close to 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And since NBC swooped in with more money, it's not a very good game most of the time, Monday Night Football.
Well, that's the thing is they
and
try
by Monday night, I'm footballed out.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I'm sorry. I feel like they're spinning in a circle, and I feel like that circle is been picking up speed over the last few years, and it's going faster and faster, and I think eventually it just has to stop, or they're going to spin themselves into the ground.
Centrifugal forces. You can spin and spin and spin, and then spin out of control and get launched.
Not only in football, but don't you think in business, like, I feel like everyone has the attitude these days of get in, make as much money as you can.
Right.
Don't look long term. It's all short term.
Right. Give it to me.
And then get out.
Yep.
Without any vision on the future, and I feel like that's what...
Or thought to anything around you.
The whole concussion thing, I mean, we could spend a whole nother podcast, but did you see how ESPN was working on a documentary on head injuries?
And they backed out?
Roger Goodell and the ESPN president met, and next thing you know, the project's pulled.
Money.
It's a farce. It's a farce. It is. It's barbaric, and I brought this up with Greg in my first podcast, and I remember you or Adam said something about it, but I wouldn't let my kid play football. I would not let my kid play football, and I understand the risks and the chances of my son wearing a pitch off the head, but the barbaric mentality of standing across from somebody, and then just I don't care what anyone says. I didn't play football, but your goal in football is to hurt the other person.
No.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Absolutely.
No, it's not. It's
Absolutely.
really not.
It is.
Eric, there's a lot of injuries in the NFL. In head problems, I'm right there with you. They got to figure something out.
So you're telling me
hold on.
The Ravens, you're telling me those guys, you watch the NFL guys, and they cream someone into the ground, and they stand over them, and instead of trying to help them up, they stand there and they lambaste them. And you're telling me their mentality isn't to hurt that man on the ground?
I want you, the next time you watch a football game, to then watch a running back.
Okay.
Because a running back, or the person with the ball, unless you're Wes Welker or somebody like that, looks at that guy running at me and wants to do the same exact thing.
Which you're making my point. They want to hurt each other.
No, they don't want to get tackled. That's what they have to do.
It's one person trying to kill the other person.
No,
the person with the ball is trying to survive.
It's put the person with the ball on the ground.
And hurt
You're
them.
talking like it's the Hunger Games.
Dave, it's for any person who watches a football game will tell you that man is trying to hurt the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
Got in big trouble for putting bounties on players.
That's different. That's not a
league-wide
league-wide thing.
They were the only ones. They took the bullet. And everyone's doing it. And you know everyone's doing it. You have former players. You have teammates who are hurt saying, go out and get this guy.
You're trying to hit the guy as hard as you can. You are not trying to take out the guys. You're not intentionally going to say, I'm going to go get that guy's ACL.
Nope.
Because if you're going to do that, if you're going to play Wild West like that, then the very next play, somebody's going to run at you and take your ACL out.
You're not going to take your knee out. It's going to
hit him as hard as you can. That's football.
Exactly. You're trying to hit the guy as hard as you can, and you don't want him to get up. And
yes,
I'm not
you do.
saying by taking his knee out. I'm saying you want to finish that hit, finish that follow-through, whatever you call it, and you want to run that guy into the ground, and you don't want him to get up. And if he doesn't get up, you win. That's the mentality of football. It is, 100%. The skill of it is you've got all... I never understood when the quarterback has everyone in the huddle and they're calling the plays. X, Y, Z, green, mocha, latte, 1002. How has no one simplified that?
Well, it's code words.
Yeah, I know. Why can't you just go into the huddle and say, hey, Dave, run straight, take a left at the 15-yard line. Hey, this guy. Or why can't you just, say, A, B, C, D, or play number 17, or play number 20? Why is it got to be all this, 27 words?
Honestly?
Adam, yeah.
Because the people who make it to playing professional football are not the smartest bunch. So hold on a second. No. Because what you do is like, just take for instance Des Bryant.
Yeah.
Des Bryant has, they call it the route tree, right? So 1 is a curl, 2 is an in, 3 is an out, blah, 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 blah. He goes in that huddle and hears the Charlie Brown teacher, 7,
7, he knows what.
He just knows when to listen for the 7, and he knows what route he's running. So you're all those guys in there. They're in the wide receiver coach's room, and they go, 7 is a curl route. 7 is a curl route. Des, can you tell me what a 7 is? And so he just listens for a 7 in the right spot, and he does a 7. All that other stuff, all the other code words like say whatever word, Bronco, I don't know, that tells the offensive line which way we're blocking. It tells the tight end what to do. It tells the running back what to do. So, and then with all these idiot people, if you let Andrew Luck go, or Tony Romo, Des, I want you to run a curl. Nah, motherfucker, I'm going. I'm scoring a touchdown.
Said the F word. Oh, no.
I didn't. Des Bryant did. So you have to know there's some sort of official thing. To be 1,000%, I love football. You're making hard arguments that are hard to argue against. But I've always thought, like, there's going to be a way. There's going to be a reason Joey Galloway, who spent years in the NFL playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you can't change your code words. That's why you can't play with Tom Brady.
You're stupid.
Well, that's the thing.
This
is going to be a way to simplify it.
So that's what makes the champions. They are on a lot more steroids than the next guy, and they are smart, which I can't. That is going to be the next shoe to fall in the NFL, and I can't wait. HGH, steroids. Yeah, these guys are the size of my couch naturally. Yeah, they eat chicken without the skin on it. Yeah. Okay, buddy. No way.
What are the side effects to HGH?
Probably the side effects of anything bad.
No, there's nothing. Just let everybody do it. You know why I thought about this? Because somebody on the radio was talking about it. And they go, did taking all the drugs out ruin baseball?
No. See, this is where we'll butt heads, because you like football because it's football and this and that, and I like baseball because...
I found all your holes in football.
Yeah.
I haven't argued them well, have I? So I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
If you want to get onto the baseball versus other sports thing, we talked about how much actual time is being spent playing baseball and how much actual time is being spent playing football.
Action time.
And action time, and there's actually more in baseball.
Yes.
But when you see a replay of a football game, you can see the reason why they need to take 20 seconds to call the next play, because they've all moved their bodies as fast as they possibly can and as strong as they possibly can. Explain to me why baseball has to be as slow as it is.
They can absolutely speed it up. I'm not the reason why I think baseball the game's taken longer the last few years. Same with football. The games in football have taken longer. They start the 4:00 games at 4:30 now instead of 4:15.
That doesn't make the game longer necessarily. It just makes your afternoon longer.
Because of commercials, because of advertisements, because of marketing, because of in between the innings.
Those are equal.
What do you mean those are equal?
Between the two arguments. There's going to be advertisement during a baseball game. There's going to be almost as much advertising. Oh, I would imagine it's an equal amount of advertising in a baseball game versus a football game. So tell me why watching a baseball game the length of game doesn't matter. If you could, I watched the Red Sox Yankees 10, 11 years ago for 4.5 hours. Why am I not watching Red Sox Yankees for 4.5 hours now? And I've watched football the entire time, and the sport of football has changed, almost done a 180.
I don't know.
When the Patriots were winning Super Bowls, they had 2 wide receivers on the field and were running the ball.
I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think baseball has ever been one of those sports where you sit at home, you turn on the TV, and you watch every single pitch. I don't think it's ever been like that. There have been some hardcore fans that will watch every pitch, but I don't think it's ever been meant to be that way. And there's a lot of people arguing like baseball. I'm not on that bandwagon about how they have to change the game or like yeah, they could speed up in between pitches. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't. I want to go back real quick because I had this other thought sticking in my head, and the barbaric nature of football and how they only play once a week. Okay. Yeah. Do you think the equivalent of one football game is harder on the body than the equivalent of 7 straight days of playing baseball? Because
my honest answer is it depends on the position of the baseball player.
Let's say catcher.
A catcher destroys their body.
Jared Saltalamacchia.
He's destroying his life.
Let's say a closer.
On a constant basis.
Center fielder, shortstop, a position.
The whole pitching is an unnatural way to move the human body.
Yes.
Throwing a baseball is unnatural. That's why softball pitchers can throw 1,000 pitches.
Yeah. Softball pitch,
Yeah. And a baseball, I can't throw baseball. Yeah. Way back when we used to throw the ball around, my arm would start hurting. Yeah. I can't imagine I could throw more than 10 without feeling the same thing right now. But if you're talking about Dustin Pedroia, and his week is as bad as somebody who plays in the NFL,
let's compare Dustin
3 hours of an NFL football game hurts that guy way more than a week of baseball hurts Dustin Pedroia.
Dustin Pedroia plays 7 baseball games in a row, second base. He's turning double plays. He gets 3 to 4.
How many double plays does he turn a game?
Let's say he turns 2 a game. Okay.
He's thrown the ball 5 times.
Okay, let's say he lays out. Okay, let's say he lays out a couple times. Now you got to remember too. I'm not just talking about the game. I'm talking about waking up. I'm talking about taking batting practice, infield practice, every day for 7 days. So let's take that Dustin Pedroia, and let's match that up against Wes Welker. So you're saying one Wes Welker game destroys the human body more than 7 days of Dustin Pedroia playing second base for the Red Sox and the preparation.
Picked a bad player, absolutely.
Wes Welker.
Yep.
Okay.
You have to add in.
Say Tom Brady.
No. Yeah, Tom Brady. Then it's a different conversation. Yeah. Add in all the work Pedroia did, practice, and game. That adds up to a work week typical for Wes Welker. Lots of running, lots of mundane, doing what you're supposed to be doing, cutting, hard cuts, putting the tendons and everything to work in your lower body. All that stuff. We're right there with you. But then Wes Welker gets hit by a guy who weighs 275 pounds.
He has pads
4
on,
or 5. Let's go put pads on. I'll hit you. You're bigger than me, and you're going to tell me it doesn't feel good. You think that adds up to Dustin Pedroia making a nice diving play to turn a double?
Have you ever dove on the ground?
Yes.
Yeah, you both for soccer.
I did play sports.
I think it's more similar than people give it credit.
I would so highly disagree. It's not even funny. If they played flag football, I would agree with you. They do not play flag football. Anyway, you can't tell me. I'll say one word to you. Has Wes Welker ever had a concussion?
Yes.
Has Dustin Pedroia?
Probably
and
not.
Next topic.
Yeah, but that's a. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's. I'm talking like physical. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about physical. There it is.
Yeah, but that's like mental. Like that's to me.
No, that's your brain making impact with the inside of your skull, causing mental problems.
Okay. There's a whole.
I don't think baseball players are lazy. I don't think that. I think they're very good athletes. There are you know people say they're not good athletes. I could field a ground ball. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. Not hit on the screws by Miguel Cabrera, and it just so happened to go down instead of up. No, you can't. You can't take that bad lip off the edge of the grass of Fenway like Pedroia can. No, you can't. You might not be able to, and you played in college. Yeah. It's not. No, you can't. He's very good reflexes and all that good stuff. But a football player impresses me more than a baseball player.
Okay.
Athletic-wise, I'll just give you a stand. They stand around a lot.
Okay. We're gonna get winding down last 5 minutes of this the first Dave and Eric podcast.
First of many, I hope.
Yeah,
because
first of
we've
many.
skimmed the top of several topics that both of you and I could definitely dive into.
To be honest with you, we hit on maybe 4 things that I wrote down.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
And
You start
skimming.
talking.
We skimmed.
Yeah, I think
It's good. No, it's good, but I'm saying we're doing this again.
With this, you got to kind of I want to keep it, you could sit here and talk about one topic for 60 minutes, but if...
That's good. It's a good flowing conversation the way we did it.
For the 2 people that listen to it, you want to hear other stuff. I will end just a couple rapid-fire questions that I asked... oh, man, I can't find them. Ah, crap. Ben Affleck is Batman. What do you think about that? Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah?
It's freaking awful.
Bale did such a good job, and that trilogy was unbelievable, and I just feel like they should leave it alone for a little while. Or
we'll start with this. Batman versus Superman. Excuse me. Second of all, they did the reason those Batman movies were so good.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the other ones, like the Avengers and all those?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those are cartoons played by real people in computers.
Sure.
What made those Batman movies so good is, yes, it was Superman. Yes, it was cartoon, but they brought that aspect so far into real life.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. If you didn't give him a cape, he could have been an army guy or a SWAT team or something like that.
Yeah.
So to then say, and you use Christian Bale, who's a great actor,
yeah,
and you take Ben Affleck, who does a lot of popcorn films, and you put him in a movie where it's Batman versus Superman, and you're going to portray it as that Batman, you're just not holding on to what made that good.
If you're Bale,
they offered him $50 million.
I don't believe that, because I think if somebody offers you $50 million to film a movie, you're gonna take $50 million. I thought Warner Brothers they're doing the new Superman movie, right? I think that they came out and said when they announced Affleck was the guy, I thought that they shot that down, because
of course they did, because it makes them look bad.
But Dave, come on now.
And they want Christian Bale to be in more of their movies.
$50 million. How do you say no to $50 million?
How much he's
going to ruin you? It's going to ruin you. Who cares? You have $50 million. You know what I mean?
He's one of those artsy.
He's weird.
DBs, and how much money do you? I mean, he's got a made, and he must have hundreds of millions of dollars already. Because those guys, once you get to the third Batman, and they're writing the contract, they go, yeah, $20 million. That's my asking. That's what you're going to pay me to film the movie.
Yeah.
But then I want 10% of the movie. And they can't say no. And then the movie makes $200 million in its first weekend. So that's 40. So now we're at $40 million. And that movie made over $1.5 billion worldwide. So, no, I don't need 50 mil. Thanks. I made 2 of those.
The Office wrapped up this season.
Yep.
I absolutely top 10 TV, one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
Yeah.
I'd put that up there for me personally with Rescue Me. I was a big fan of Rescue Me. Wow, that literally you just hit the ball like 400 feet. But and he's also 6'5". But I liked the way The Office went out. I loved how they snuck Michael Scott back in.
Perfect.
I know you've been an Office fan, but I mean, I wanted to get your opinion. When you think of The Office, is there a specific episode that sticks out in your mind, like that if it's on TV, you're like, if The Office is on, I'm going to watch it no matter what.
Yeah,
but is there one episode?
Yeah.
What is it?
I can't tell you one outright joke in it. I can't even tell you why I like it.
Yeah.
But it's when I watch it, I just get this stupid, uncontrollable grin on my face. And it's when Michael Scott still had the office downstairs.
Yeah.
And he turned it into a club.
Oh, yeah?
Cafe Disco. I love that episode. I love that episode. I grin because Jim and Pam stay there for him.
Yeah.
There's not anything outwardly funny about it.
Yeah.
It's just watching people dance. and something about that show. Who knows if it's true? But they were very good at making you think all those people actually liked each other.
Yeah.
Because you can't film that episode. I don't think, I'm not an actor, but I have to believe you can't film Cafe Disco unless you're all friends. Because you basically just put a camera in a room and said dance for hours until we can get this episode done.
Great.
It just puts I have a stupid smile on my face right now.
Yeah.
I love that episode.
That show was great, man. I think
the funniest thing ever was Dwight's fire drill to open
that
the
was
thing.
the
Oscar's
greatest
climbing in the ceiling. Angela's cat goes up and then down out of the ceiling. And the best character, just to wrap it all up, and when it started going off the rails, which I loved, was Creed. I freaking love Creed. Oh, that was another thing. Okay. So they have the work bus. And they pull over. They hitchhiker. It's Creed. He steps on the bus. It's his office. Oh man.
No, I think Parks and Rec is. I like Parks and Rec.
Hold on, one thing, real quick.
Yeah.
The two shows that you mentioned.
Yep. Rescue Me and The Office.
In The Office. I can't think of two better endings to a series.
You watched Rescue Me.
I watched the whole thing. Yeah,
I loved Rescue Me. I thought
it got really slow at the end. Man, did it get slow. They really didn't go anywhere. The last season and a half, it was arguing in the apartment. Yeah. But the end of that show
it ended the way it started.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
And the way, I don't want to tell people in case they have, but the way that, I'm getting goosebumps, the way that show ended was pitch perfect.
Yeah.
Beyond perfect.
You're a Walking Dead fan, right?
Love The Walking Dead.
Have you seen the preview for season 4?
I have, and I love it.
It's going to be good. They're taking it to a whole new level, I think. I think they got it.
See, I disagree with you. Yeah. I think they're taking it down a level, which makes it better.
All right, we'll continue this next time. It's been fun.
It's a professional tease. I like that.
Yeah, we're teasing the listeners for the next time.
We're going to do it before then, but we should do it before the episode.
Well, I was going to say, this can be a traveling podcast. So, it was a lot of fun. Any last words before we turn the mics off? Fantasy draft coming up?
I was going to say, repeat. Here we go.
Oh, hey, while I have you on, I was going to wait till everybody got here, but I don't know if you saw it. It looks extra shinier this year. It looks real for some reason. But I'm going to present you with the championship belt for winning fantasy last year. I think you beat me.
I did in the championship.
Yeah, so you have the 10th pick this year. I have the 9th, but
awful.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I know you've never really won anything else in your life, so...
Oh, that is a dig.
But yeah, man, championship belt, and obviously the winner of all our fantasy leagues gets one, so hopefully you can... we'll see what happens this year. You never know with fantasy. I know Adam puts a lot of time into it.
A lot of time.
You know, everyone does the mock drafts, but all it takes is one injury, and...
Yeah, that's what it is. It's all luck. But it's a brilliant move by the people who invented it, because, man, do people watch football because of it.
How many leagues are you in this year?
I can only do one.
Only one.
For anybody out there who does multiple fantasy leagues, I don't understand you, including if that's you, Eric.
I'm only in 3 this year.
Only in 3. So that means on any given Sunday, you're rooting for every player in the NFL.
I try to draft the same players. Yeah. All right, well, Dave, thanks a lot for doing this, and we'll talk next time.
All right, later.
All right, see you.